there's one right there. Look at that. Oh yeah, it feels like another good fish. I'll tell you, this to me is just so much fun. It feels like a pretty nice fish. I'm going to show you exactly what we're using because it's a little different too than what. Oh yeah, that's a good fish. A little bit different too than what you might expect. You know, when I'm pulling spinners or, you know, some of these little guys, a horizontal live bait presentation like this, usually I'm using a bottom bouncer when I'm in deeper water, and I'm using my bait caster bottom bouncer rod. Oh yeah, nice walleye. Come here, buddy. Yep, got him. Nice fish. Look at that. Awesome. Awesome stuff. But that's not what I'm using. I'm gonna show you what I'm using here. Let's get this fish unhooked. We're gonna let this guy go. Look at that. Awesome walleye. Great fish. Get out of here, buddy. Let him go. And I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm using here because it's gonna make a little bit of a difference. Number one, rod and reel. I am not using my bait caster set up with the bottom bouncer. Not when I'm fishing this weed stuff. So what I'm using is, number one, just my Lindy rig rod. It's a medium light action. You look at that tip, when that fish hits it, he can load that tip up. And ultimately, he'll hook himself for me, okay? This one here is 7 feet 3 inches. And then I'm just using standard monofilament on a spinning reel, okay? This is just 8-pound mono. You can use a, 10-pound mono might work just fine for you. I would go more than 6 though, because you're flying right along and you're asking those fish to set the hook on themselves. So I always like going 8 or 10. Then the other thing I'm doing is, right here for weight, I'm just using a little bullet sinker. What this is just a 3/16 ounce bullet sinker. I got a swivel right there, and then right down to this Lindy Lil Guy. Now let me tell you about this Lil Guy. This is the 1-inch version. They come in 2 different sizes, 1-inch or 2-inch. Both of them are great, but I'll tell you this. Early in the year, you're always going to see me fishing this 1-inch. I'm putting a crawler on here. I'm threading him on the first hook. I'm hooking him right through the center of him on the second hook. And then I'm pinching it off about an inch behind that second hook. That's going to make it so the perch don't bother you quite as much. And you're matching the size of the bait a little bit better with that 1-inch. Now, once this summer months really set in, let's get into July, August, into September, and then into your fall months. That's when I'm going to go to that 2-inch size. And man, I'll tell you what, they're just awesome, because what's happening is that little guy up in front of that crawler is doing this. He's ripping right along just like a crankbait, just like a minnow. And then right behind it comes that meat, and it gives those fish something that they're not used to seeing. This is just a phenomenal hybrid style bait. Now, don't get me wrong, I love my spinner fishing, but when it comes down to it, if you're looking to grab the most aggressive fish out of school, this one right here is just flat out deadly. It's a Lindy Lil Guy, but rig it up like this. And then lastly, all I'm doing is chucking it back behind the boat. I cannot tell you for sure that I'm a foot off the bottom or 2 feet off the bottom. What I do know though is that this little guy grabs their attention as I come past them, makes them turn and come toward the bait. And that's really the big thing about this. You're putting the vibration down there, you look like a minnow, and then yet you've got that crawler, which is giving you that scent right behind it. Man, I'll tell you what, that right there is a simply deadly setup.